Hello, all. Today we will be unwrapping the mystery of why some people pull a Houdini during their spiritual healing quest by Diane, patron saint of boundaries, misfits, and holy humor, the cozy embrace of sacred solitude. It is a special peace that arrives when someone takes a step back to heal, a peace that doesn't just hush the chaos, but snuggles the soul like a divine dry or fresh blanket. It's not loneliness, it's a sacred silence, a deep sigh, a joy so gentle and constant it feels like sunlight tickling your ribs. When someone goes on a spiritual walkabout, they're not dodging the world, they're finally tuning into themselves. And in that quiet space, magic happens. The soul starts to sparkle anew, not with fireworks or fanfare, but with a soft, steady glow whispering, "Ah, this is what I've needed." Isolation shifts from being a sentence to a sanctuary, a haven where the spirit can stretch, breathe, and remember its original beat before life cranked up the volume. And that warmth, that deep inner joy, is the first clue that healing is doing its thing. Some folks vanish when they start healing, not because they've turned into ice queens or become so wise they can't text back, but because spiritual growth can transform their inner world into a chaotic construction site. And honestly, who wants company when the walls are down and emotional circuits are sparking left and right? Healing isn't exactly a glamorous affair. Forget those soft focus montages with herbal tea and gentle journaling. It's more like spiritual puberty, awkward, tender, and full of those "I need to lie down before I accidentally bite someone" moments. So, if some people go Maya, let's just say that might be the holiest disappearing act ever. 1, they're not ghosting you. They're ghosting their old self when someone's busy shedding their outdated cocoon. They might hit pause on hanging out with folks who knew them in their caterpillar days. They're not dodging you. They're dodging the old version of themselves they're trying to outgrow. It's tough to morph into a butterfly when everyone still calls you the fixer, the strong one, the emotional sponge, or the one who never says no. Sometimes to break the mold, you've got to leave the room where the mold is set. Healing in progress. Silence can be spooky. Spiritual healing is like hitting mute on life, except it's not all zen. It's more like your soul's Wi-Fi is lagging. In the hush, here's what happens. Your intuition hits refresh, past boo-boos bubble up, cosmic messages slide into your DMs, your ego has a meltdown. Try texting back when you're knee-deep in a cosmic reboot. 3, they're tuning into their own frequency in the grand symphony of healing. They're learning to separate gut feelings from goosebumps, reality checks from past wrecks, cosmic nudges from yesterday's playbook. This calls for a retreat from the cacophony, even the warm fuzzies. Yep, especially those. Sometimes those who love you to bits are the ones whose expectations you need to hit the mute button on. 4, they're guarding their energy like it's a rare unicorn healing turns you into a sensitively tuned instrument, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. Suddenly, small talk feels like a cactus hug, drama feels like a venomous cocktail. Some folks feel like a soul-crushing tax audit going Mia. That's their way of finally mastering the art of energy conservation, instead of dishing it out like free snacks at a supermarket. 5, they're not quite ready for the curtain call. Some transformations are still finding their voice. Some breakthroughs are as delicate as a souffle. Some revelations are like cookies that need a bit more baking. Attempting to describe a spiritual awakening mid-whirlwind is like trying to give a play-by-play from the eye of a tornado. Folks go hush-hush because the truth is still brewing, and they're not about to present you with a half-cooked version of their evolving self. 6, they're finally picking themselves. This is the bittersweet moment for onlookers, but a breath of fresh air for the one on the mend. When someone pulls a disappearing act, it's usually because they're finally catching ZZZs, mourning, ditching old habits, forgiving, piecing themselves back together, rediscovering who they were before the world gave them a script. Choosing themselves might look like a vanishing trick, but it's really a grand re-entry just not on the public stage yet. Why the friendless healer gets misjudged when someone's flying solo during their healing journey. Folks love to slap on labels like antisocial or friendless. Meanwhile, you're over there conducting an epic internal makeover, not vying for a spot in the Socialite Hall of Fame. Here's the scoop. Healing often calls for a retreat from the crowd. Solitude isn't a red flag, it's a game plan. Having fewer folks around isn't about being unloved. It's about being choosy. Sometimes life demands a tighter circle as your spirit hits refresh. Boundaries get a software update, and your intuition is on do not disturb. It's not about having no friends. It's about not letting anyone in while your soul's under renovation. Let them get it twisted. You're not here to justify your sacred solitude to folks dodging their own. A soul's secret wish, peace, not pandemonium. Here's the scoop. A soul on the mend isn't throwing a party for company. It's throwing a meditation retreat for peace. No blaring noise, no unsolicited advice. No emotional roller coasters masquerading as just checking in. Just pure, unfiltered tranquility. Healing is like a Zen garden. Chaos is about as welcome as a cat in a birdhouse. When someone's patching up their spirit, even a sneeze can feel like the Richter scale's gone haywire. The group chat suddenly sounds like a rock concert. Some folks seem to drain your battery faster than a smartphone app, and every chaotic invite feels like a sneaky spiritual trap. Final sparkle. Healing isn't a team sport. It's like a solo retreat, a personal makeover with a side of Zen that demands solitude, silence, and the guts to break free from the usual groove. When someone vanishes on their spiritual quest, it's not a snub. It's on purpose. They're not ditching the world. They're gearing up to re-enter it with sharper vision, firmer boundaries, and a soul that finally fits just right. And when they waltz back, they'll be ready to love, connect, and be present with a fullness that only a solo adventure could teach them. Need more help? Check out the pros, healers, readers, and spiritualists. Thanks for watching, DPC.